Every day, you make decisions that affect you and the people you care about. So do your elected officials. That's why elections are so important, because you are picking the leaders who will make choices that directly impact you and your community. Vote411.org is your tool for accurate and unbiased election information, whether you're registering to vote or learning more about your local candidates. Your vote is your megaphone. Use it to pick the leaders you trust. Get online, get the facts, and make your voice heard on Election Day.
Moving forward.
I have returned, and we're back for more. Let's talk about what's been fun this week. I actually kind of enjoy separating this out. I'm glad we did. We're actually seeing some new subscribers in different areas, which is really cool. I mean, I love being here from Maui, but like it's cool to make new friends abroad, and I'm hoping that some of those are Kanakas too. Shout outs to all those cool people that are just adding to the Podbean followership and all those new listens that we're getting from Newsly. Thank you guys. So let's dig into it. Now, I haven't seen it yet, and I don't intend on giving my judgment until next week. So y'all have the time to get it before I potentially spoil anything. But so, Black Adam, all right? It seems like the power that Rotten Tomatoes is flexing on public opinion has swayed some, but not the overall majority yet. Personally, I think everyone should form their own opinion, and, you like or dislike whatever you want. And if you have people that you appreciate their opinion on the matter, take it. But that Rotten Tomatoes score is floating in the 40s. It's like 41%. Does that mean it's a C-minus film? I mean, Rotten Tomatoes makes a score off of combined scores of all the critics they've vetted into the system. And last I checked, 206 RT critics cumulatively define that 41%. But the audience score from over 1,000 verified audience members is 89%. I mean, the critics see it as a dud, and the fans see it as nearly fresh. So who do we believe? I'm just going to bank it on our eyes at this point. And these eyes are going to catch it in the coming week and report back on what these eyes have seen and how they feel. And of the feels, I'm feeling optimistic about the future of the Flash franchise. WB rumors have swirled about a Flash 2 script already prepared. But bigger rumors concerning the actor portray Barry Allen is what is getting everyone excited. Well, I think that's good. At this rate, I'll take just about any suggestions over Ezra. I mean, seriously, why haven't we called Tig Notaro to just get painted over him like that Netflix film? But either way, not watching the Ezra Flash. I'll just read the spoilers, and if they actually recast, I'll watch the second one. And speaking of seconds, The Vow is back for a second helping of a look into the Nexium cult and its leader, Keith Raniere. What a head trip, folks. Wow, this picks up where we left off last season and dives right into the trial. Now, the trial unfolded publicly, and for those of you who may have seen it, what's going to get juicy. Those of you who haven't, don't worry. It's all coming out in the show. We see some familiar faces in this episode, but what's more interesting is all the Keith supporters and inner circle members they've got now. And they balance it well. We meet some that are still starry-eyed for Keith, some that have been in exile and finally speaking out, some just beginning to understand that Keith is a criminal, and ultimately the big reveal of Nancy Saltzman at the end for the next episode. That's going to be nuts because, she was like the number 2. She was like right hand to Keith, so it'll be on HBO Max. Check it out. I'll definitely have more to say about it, especially since it's documentary season. It's picking up. So, I'm happier with the viewing choices right now. And I just stumbled across a Barney documentary on Peacock. It's called I Love You, You Hate Me. And I got to say, feelings of Barney aside, is a well-told story about people making a TV show and all the trials and tribulations that come with it. It was definitely a memory lane experience in that we get to see some iconic faces that we all grew up with. And they're grown up now. So, all the kids from the screen, the OG voice of Barney tells a whole bunch of stories, and even the composer comes in, has a thing or two to say. But as we know, there was some weird controversy in the Barney world, like how the second guy in the Barney suit is a tantrum master, and he had to promise not to teach or talk about tantra during his career as Barney, just so they wouldn't be seen as pervs to the American public. All in all, is it worth your 2 hours? If you're a Barney superfan, yes. If you like film industry documentaries, yes. It does carry on at some points, but standard fare for something that got stretched into a two-parter. Plenty to laugh, plenty to cry about, plenty to be shocked about too. But my favorite thing was that they got some other kids TV stars like Steve from Blue's Clues, and he did this amazing thing where he kind of went into Steve mode like he did on Blue's Clues and just like broke the fourth wall of the documentary. And that was definitely the biggest feels of the entire doc, because like they changed the way that they shot him they just cut in a little tighter. He got in the screen. It was interesting. It was definitely, yeah. The sad bits, I won't get into those because it's such a small part of it. So like you should absorb it yourself so you get the full quality out of that. But like for a solid hour and a half of it, it really is like the ingenuity of one woman bringing together like an idea to entertain her son and the runaway hit that it becomes. And just like, it was crazy to think that like, I didn't know this because I was a kid when it was happening, but like, I mean, she was pretty much VHS distribution before Barney was on TV. Like, and she had like a call network of moms on a phone tree, just like slinging it like it was like some Lululemon back in the day. So like, that's, I mean, a lot of hustle, a hustle went into that, and just how she pulled it off. And for as long as it ran, it definitely deserved a documentary. But now for what we really came to talk about. Quantum Leap. Man, like it's gonna take over, especially like with the fact that I'm watching more documentaries this season. Like it's gonna be a lot less like fictional content to talk about. So this is gonna take the forefront. I feel, especially like since it has such a nostalgic place in my heart watching it as a kid growing up. So this latest episode, Ben has landed in the Old West as a retired gunslinger. Now, this is crazy because he's definitely leaping farther out of time, well beyond his life and beyond the show has been. I felt there were some great moments where it really started to feel like the original Quantum Leap, but what really made me happy is how fast we're getting Ben's memory back and other leapers. At the end of this episode, Ben got a finger put in his chest by another time traveler who called him out by name. So the question that got asked immediately, is this the leaper themselves, or is someone in that body we don't get to see, like in the old series when they touch and it made them visible to each other? Like, and if it's not, who is this guy and why is Ben following him like he suggests? I mean, is he like out of time? I mean, or does he know? Or I mean, does this mean that Janice could be working with that leaper or other leapers? I mean, is Ben chasing after something that Janice started and he's not actually in it with her but against her this whole time? And if that's someone else in that body, who is it? I mean, I don't think they would make that our first unofficial Sam encounter, especially with that leaper's demeanor. I mean, he didn't seem like Sam. I mean, he was definitely like an Al level of pushy, maybe more. But, I mean, some people are speculating this person in the new episode is just a leaper who's correcting his alternate timeline. Some are thinking, what if it was Janice outside of linear time? Or it could be a leaper from the bar at the end of the OG series. I mean, could we be running into leapers running rogue, or leapers that don't need technology, or have they evolved beyond the tech like Sam did, and there's a society of them working on the timeline like in Loki or something, and we've got all these little time rebels leaping around and maybe even reporting back to Sam? I mean, this could turn into something big, and only time will tell. Let's cross our fingers and hope for another big picture morsel next week. I believe we're going to be in the middle of an earthquake on the next one. They didn't show his leap at the end, but many discussions have pointed out this next episode was supposed to be the pilot, I guess. So maybe we'll get more Janice, some more what's going on with Al's old hand link. I mean, dude, until then, we're just going to be biting our nails together. But I'll catch you later with the Maui Local. Thanks for spotting in for this little time today. Looking forward to more and catching up next week on The World. Until then, be well. Aloha.